The Frames Per Second podcast. Welcome everybody to another episode of the Frames Per Second podcast. My name is Kenneth Beans. Joining me, we have Mike and Rod.
Yo.
Hey, what up, man?
Today we are reviewing almost like a viewer's choice. This is our gift to you guys. And there were 3 movies that the community came together to select that they wish we reviewed throughout the year 2024. And, oh shit, water.
Damn.
Shouldn't have been eating those chips. Hold on. I was rolling too. Today's selection is The Wild Robot. So we have the 3 that won were The Substance, Wild Robot, and Anora. So today we're talking about The Wild Robot, which is an animated film. So I saw this movie at the theater when it released. Is this you guys' first time watching this?
What you mean?
Is it your first time watching it?
Yeah, watching it before it. Before it was picked by the Frames Per Second people. Oh, okay. Did you go see it before?
What you say?
No.
Mike,
I know it. I know how it sounded. I know in your head how you processed it.
Yeah, I know. How did you process that? This is your first time.
Because it was like, how is it my first time watching it when I'm here to do the review?
Right, and it's not like it's an old movie. Like it's a new movie.
Y'all are funny.
Do you get what I'm saying? Do you not
No.
like how I was confused?
No.
Kid got me. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters, bro. As long as one person got you, it don't matter.
Right. Yes, this is my first time watching it after the person wanted us to watch it. Hold on. It did kind of pop up, and I was like, the funny thing, man, I don't really watch animated movies like that, and it's weird because that's my background. But I don't know, it's just not something that I just run to go do. If I'm gonna do it, if I'm gonna watch it, it's usually like streaming or something like that. Not saying I don't like animated movies, it's just not something I run to the movies to go see. So yeah.
Gotcha. Neither do I, and I wasn't running to go see it. I saw people say good things about it, and I don't think I had anything to watch that Thursday. So I was like, all right, well, let me go see this movie, and I just took a chance on it because it looked like it was a kids movie, and I was like, well, if I'm gonna watch something like that, I probably would like to take the kids to see it. But overall, what did you think about it, though, Rod?
It actually didn't look like a kid's movie to me. It looked like a more serious type of movie that a kid probably wouldn't enjoy like that. It didn't seem like Disney, like skipping through the forest and stuff. Like, it didn't seem like that to me. It seemed a little darker to me. Kind of like, what is it, Iron Giant? Y'all remember that movie?
I haven't seen it, but yeah, I do remember it being a thing.
Iron Giant? Oh, man, yeah. So it reminded me of something like that. But I thought it was okay. I wasn't blown away. I thought I was going to enjoy it a lot more than I did. It was a cool story. But I feel like I've seen it before, in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? A robot having an actual conscience and heart or whatever. What was it? Johnny Five's Alive or something like that?
Short Circuit.
Circuit, yeah. When he had a person, he had a personality. Like he wasn't just a robot. So he got struck by lightning or something like that. So I feel like I've seen this story before, but they did it in a fairly decent way by it being like in the wild, taking care of animals and stuff. I thought that was cool.
What about you, Mike?
Bruh. I'm surprised by Rod's reaction. I'm beyond surprised by Rod's reaction. I would expect that reaction from you, Ken, not from Rod. So I don't know what's going on right now, but no, this movie was fucking beautiful. And it was so much more than Short Circuit. It was so much more than just a robot taking care of animals and shit. There was so many layers and elements to this film. This is why I don't watch shit like this. I was telling Nick and Spike, that's why I don't fucking watch movies like this. I don't like the way they make me feel. Like Rod said, horror movies fuck with his spirit. This shit fucks with my spirit. I don't like movies like this. Within 30 minutes, I was getting choked up. I was like, nah, fuck this. I don't want to watch this shit, man. By the end of he didn't hear me, did he? Oh, you got things in. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
By the time the movie was over, I'm a man enough to tell y'all I was like a blubbering little bitch.
That's what I thought was going to happen to me.
That's crazy. It didn't.
It didn't, man. I don't know why. I feel you, and I see how it could have. I absolutely see how it could have done that, but for some reason, it just didn't. It didn't hit me that way.
That's crazy.
Because I think it did Nay the same way. Nay did go and watch it. She went and watched it. But yeah, I think I might have been working or something. But yeah, and she said it was really good. She really liked it, and I think it might have made her emotional as well. But I can see why it definitely made her, because it's the motherly element of it. So, yeah.
I don't even have kids, so it wasn't. There was like elements you could take from that. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if you're a parent, mm-hmm. but there was even the element of this kid being like the weirdo outcast kid, and then everyone by the end of the movie has to recognize that him being the weirdo outcast kid is what made him unique and is what saved the fucking day for everybody. Man, this shit. Oh my God. This movie was so fucking deep. But there is one thing. I know I'm going long. I'll get to you, Ken. But there's one thing that Rod did say I do agree with. This is definitely not a kid's movie. I feel like this is an adult's movie that they brilliantly made to where you could take your kids to go see it and they would still be entertained. Because they're not going to get the deeper meanings of what's happening. They're just going to be like, look at the cute fox. Look at the cute robot. Look at the cute birds flying around. You know what I mean? I don't know how this is like Miyazaki level of deep writing to me. So, man, this shit was incredible.
Mike, I was with you, bro. This shit almost got me, bro. By the end of the movie, bro, I was singing Trick Daddy, bro. I'm a thug, bro. this shit.
I'm a thug. You had to tell him, kid.
Man, I was in and even on the second watch, I was like, it brought it all back. And I was like, oh my God. And I was hoping this movie won because I really wanted to talk about it because I was so moved and I don't know how they did that.
Me either.
I was struggling, bro, towards the end. I was like, it completely blew me away. The writing, the depth that they told this story, the small little nuances, things that I picked up on the second time that I didn't pick up the first time. Man, I was like, yo, this is I was like, this shit is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, this is yeah. Yeah, so it's three main acts. The first is, of course, the robot being stranded on this island in a typhoon, one of 6 robots that we found out towards the end of the movie. And we spend bulk of the first part of the movie learning Rosm 7134. And Roz getting acclimated to this planet and running around looking to serve. Like, I need a task. Does anybody need help? And at one point, it seemed like Rosm before they got the name was sad that there was nobody wanting her help. It's like, this is what I'm built to do, and nobody's taking me on. And the animals accidentally activated this robot, which was made by Universal Dynamics. What'd you guys think about, like, just the opening scene, from the activation to not understanding the language, sitting there learning the language? You can see Rosum 7134 like trying to scale the wall and seeing the crab and mimicking the features of the crab to scale the wall and stuff like that. Did you guys like how this whole thing opened up?
No, yeah, I definitely did. Especially the part that you just mentioned about how she had to identify how to get up the wall by paying attention to the crab or whatnot. So that was cool to see. I really liked the voice of the robot. I thought that was I forgot who's the actor. Y'all look it up?
It's Lupita.
Yeah,
Lupita. That's right. Yeah. And when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, Lupita killed this, because I did not know it was Lupita. I had no clue until afterwards. I was like, did that just say Lupita? And I was just like, yo, that's crazy. She is super talented, bro. Like, for real. But no, so that was the very first thing I picked up on. Like, oh man, the robot is very charming. Her voice is very like loving. So yeah, that was cool. And you mentioned the animals. I know she was trying to help, but wasn't she actually damaging things? Or because I can't remember like what was happening. I think the way she was doing certain things, it wasn't actually helping the animals. So they all thought that she was a threat because of the stuff that she was doing.
I don't think she was hurting anything. I think that she was walking around. She kept tripping over things.
Yeah.
You know, maybe knocking things over. But I don't think she hurt any of the animals. They thought she was a threat because that's what they're used to. That's how animals think of anything that's not an animal. They think it's a threat.
Well,
especially on this planet, because like early on, they show that this planet is really built on predator and prey, which is, another little thing in the movie.
Right.
And they show like the dangers, because I think at one point she had this thing in her hand and something came and snatched it around.
Yep, it was a butterfly.
Yeah. But she was definitely disturbing the environment. And that's why they were looking at it as a monster, because everything was a monster to them.
Right.
That's what I meant. Not that she was harming the animals, Mike, but just kind of disturbing the natural order of things, so that they thought that, like, okay, you coming in here messing things up.
I didn't get that. They were mad at her, though. They were mad at her. No, they were scared of her.
It was one that was mad. I thought one was just like, yo, get out of here. Like, whatever. Like, the beaver
was. Huh? The beaver was like that, but the beaver was like that to everybody.
Yeah.
The beaver didn't fuck with anybody. Paddler. Yeah. Maybe I missed it, but I don't remember her actually disturbing things like that. I just remember her walking around and trying to like soak in how the world there works.
Yeah, I think this was like one of the first times we saw like signs of human quality in her. There were like signs of loneliness. So she kind of went to this high point and she attempted to return to the factory because nobody wanted her help or needed it. So she didn't have a task to do, and lightning struck and she got rebooted. And as she was rebooted, she was being carjacked. Mike, why the brown people got to be the thieves, bro?
Hey man, how it go? They were raccoons too, weren't they?
Yeah,
raccoons out there just jacking her parts.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, they took all this stuff. It was stolen by the raccoons. When she chases it, runs into the damn big ass bear who slapped the shit out of her ass, and she ran.
Real quick, I do think that what was interesting about her going home is, unless I missed it, I took her trying to go home as not necessarily that she was lonely. It was more so she had no duty to do. It wasn't that she felt lonely or sad. It was just like, okay, there's nobody here that needs any tasks for me to do. And my only purpose in life is to complete tasks. So if there's no task to complete, I need to head home. So
Yes.
I thought that was interesting because all of that changes later.
Yeah. It was the way that she was kind of walking to the top of the mountain. It was seemed like it was very slow, and like it was like, okay, well, I ain't got anything to do. I guess I need to get out of here. So nobody, who ordered me, and she couldn't find the answer to that. Right. So, but yeah, you're right. She left because there wasn't anything for her to do, and she was just really built to serve. Did you guys, Mike? Did you take anything from the name Universal Dynamics?
No, maybe I missed something, but nah.
I was thinking about like the universal dynamics, the universe and dynamics of how everything kind of, works together. You have that and the order of things and a disturbance in the universe, which could mess things up for the good or the bad, depending on whatever the situation is. So I've been, kind of thinking about why I call it universal dynamics. More the second time I watched it than the first time. But yeah, she ended up being chased by the bear, and she ends up falling onto a nest and, killed a mom and, the kids, which sets up the rest of the movie. And that's when she walks around with the egg. And we get introduced to Fink, who is played by Pedro Pascal. What'd you guys think of Fink and how Pedro did?
Wow. What?
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I loved him,
man. Mr. Soft.
No, I love Fink, man. I didn't know it was Pedro Pascal at first, of course, until the end.
I didn't either.
And I thought he was going to be the antagonist of the film because the way he was stealing the egg and running off with it. I thought that whole scene was just so well done, but I ended up fucking loving him. And I'll tell you, I mean, we'll get there, of course, but he's the one that broke me. But we'll get there. But yeah, I loved Fink.
Yeah, he hit me with a moment too.
Man.
But I didn't know it was Pedro, but my God, was he great. Oh my goodness. He was just as good. Really a great character in here. Rod, did you like you didn't like when the hatchling woke up the Gosling and it imprinted on the robot and how it put his head up to the robot and bonded with it, bro.
No,
man,
it did, but it just didn't hit me the same way for some reason. I don't know. It was it was just cool. No, it was sweet. I'm sorry. It was a sweet moment. It was a sweet moment. It was.
Yeah, I thought it was funny the first time the bird it screamed, and then it just started following her around and stuff because it's the mom. Yeah, it was the mom, man. And then it destroyed the transmitter. And what about the kids? Did you like the possum? That was Beetlejuice, the mom from Beetlejuice. I can't think of her name.
Catherine O'Hara, is that her name?
Yeah. Because remember when they first walked up, she had learned the language. Oh man, this thing was like, "Are you here to kill us?"
Oh yeah. And that came back around later too, so I like that too.
Man, I love those. She said the funniest shit, like when she was like, "Yeah, that's just your one kid. Try having 7," and then you hear the and she's like 6.
Right?
Like that's fucked up.
It is.
What the hell?
It was. But like I said, they were really setting up that prey versus predator in this movie.
Yep.
Yeah, and I because when I was like, damn, that's kind of dark. Even though it wasn't really dead, but I was like, wow, they were really gonna do that. Just the idea. But again, like it was just once again, it was just like no one's safe. no one likes each other, So, so it was Pinktail and her family, and even when they were playing dead, and how they were like, "Oh, I got sepsis," and then the other one said, "I got."
That shit was funny as hell to me. That shit was funny as hell to me. What the fuck? That's why it's not a kid's movie, because no kid knows what the fuck sepsis. Adults don't even know what sepsis is.
Yep. And then when she was walking off, and he was like, "Well, you're the mother now." That's what Pinktail told her. And one of the kids walking up, "We like your baby," and said, "We hope it doesn't die."
I hope it doesn't die.
Right.
But Fink comes back around and becomes the partner in crime. And, it was interesting, Rock, because he kind of mentioned to her as she took on this task of helping the Gosling eat, swim, and fly by fall. And I think the task was given her by Pinktail, and Fink kind of comes along to help out. And he makes mention of him being a fox, and he was just running around doing fox thing because that's his programming. And it's like a thing that humans have. We're kind of coded to behave and act in a certain way as well. Very much predator-like, too. But yeah, Fox goes around and teaches her, a lot of things, but it seemed like he was helping, but he was very self-serving when he was teaching them how to eat fine food. He was eating all the damn food and stuff. And then he finally helped her, the Gosling, find the worms, and that was the completion of the first task. There was another point where Roz says that her protocol prohibits her from letting harm come to anyone. And then Fink says that the world is built on each one killing the other as well. So again, you keep getting this reminder that this is a dangerous place for everybody that's there. But he also lets us know that that basically this thing was a runt and defective. And so what did you think about learning that information about the Gosling?
I mean, it was sad.
I've always heard.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
It was sad enough when Roz fell on the nest, and I was like, that's surely not what they're doing. And when she lifted the bird's wing and just kind of let it go, and it was clearly dead, I was like, what the fuck is this movie? But then when we find out that the only egg that was saved is the runt, I was like, oh, wow, that's crazy. Because I know how birds, we've all heard those stories of how birds kill the runts, because the runts they're never able to fly. They push them out of the nest, and, we know how that story goes. Then when you realize, her killing accidentally the family saved the life of the runt little Gosling. So that was a very, very, very touching little bit of information.
Yeah, and Longbill kind of brings it up later on, which was really heavy,
Long neck.
Long neck, yeah, Longbill, yeah, long neck. So yeah, what about you, Rod? And just the whole situation, just seeing this whole bonding moments between the runt, who doesn't have a name yet, and Roz, because she's still very much task oriented and not really developing any type of emotions with the runt.
Yeah, but so I've always heard that because I've tried to take, I don't know if y'all have done this before, but I've tried to take care of a bird that's fallen before. I don't know if y'all ever done that before, but I heard that actually harms the bird. Like you're not supposed to they're supposed to kind of figure things out on its own. So a lot of times, like when they fall from the nest, I think there's a misconception that the mother doesn't want anything to do with the bird anymore, but it's actually just trying to help it learn how to survive. And that's probably where the whole runt thing comes from too, I guess, because like runts can't survive in those situations, I guess. Maybe they're not strong enough to.
It's them they push them out the nest so they learn how to fly, but the runts learn how to fly later, so they die because they can't fly.
So I didn't realize that.
That's what I've always thought.
Yeah.
Now you could just put me on, and maybe I've been wrong this whole time, but that's always been my understanding.
I don't know anything specific about the runts. I know they always kind of are like the black, what do they call it?
Why they gotta be black, man?
Because they always like do us like that. The black sheep of the family or something. Isn't that the term? Like,
there's black sheep of the family. You have the ugly duckling thing as well.
Something like that. Yeah. It kind of gets left behind. So I do agree with you, Mike, that this kind of gave the opportunity for someone that normally doesn't live a chance to live. So yeah, I did like that element.
What about them building a house? Did you like that at all?
Yeah, because she built it like a nest. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was cool.
And the runt was trying to help, and she wouldn't let him help, but then she did.
Oh man, yeah, that was cute. Then she carved the little thing for the door.
Yep.
So yeah, that was really smart story writing. Like the way, she carved it and there was a little baby. And then as we're watching, you see she's carved a bigger one and a bigger one. So that's how we know that time has progressed. That was dope.
Good writing. Yeah, that is good writing.
Yeah. And, before all that, we because they got the idea, they stole the thing from Patler. Mm-hmm. And we learned that we get the actual name of the beaver. And we found out, of course, he's building a dam, but he's actually seen as a laughing stock, on the island. No one takes him serious. So there's another person on the island that's kind of looked down upon. What about the naming process? So Rosm 7134 renames herself to Roz. And then they went through this whole process of trying to come up with a name for Goslem, and they settled on Bright Bill. Did you like how they did that, Rod? Remember, she was trying to tell jokes, and she was like, "Oh, I did the numbers out of order." And Fink was trying to be like, "Nah, you can't do that. That doesn't make sense."
I remember, but it didn't. Yes, for some reason, I stick with it.
What about the story though? What about when he was like, "Oh, well, the baby can't sleep. Let's tell her the story." Did you like the story? And what did you think about the animation overall?
Animation overall, I thought it was cool. Like, I thought they did a really good job with robotics and just naturally moving animals and things, like mixing those two things. So I thought the animation was pretty good. Lighting, all of that, they did a really good job with that. So I like the choice of animation here. But I'm trying to remember the story. I can't.
Yeah, the story was Fink basically kind of telling the story of how Roz got there, and that she was in the sky and in the stars, and she was sitting on a moon, and she fell off. And then Roz made a comment like, "Yeah, I killed the whole family," or something to that nature. She was like, "Nah, we can't tell that story." Yeah. So, okay, Mike, did you like the story?
Yeah. Yes, I love the story. I liked how they told that story, but then the animation was slightly different, so you could see that it was someone else's perspective or whatever. But also, there was a lot deeper with the whole naming convention, because remember, at first she said, "Okay, well, I'm just going to call you Goslin 0001." And Fink was like, "No, you have to give him a unique name." So that all plays into him later on when he's breaking away from the group. Because remember, all he wants to do is be normal, be one of one of the other Gosling who don't really have like, any unique anything. So when she names him Bright Bill, that's like the first indication that he's not like the other birds. He's completely different. So there was a lot there with that.
I didn't get that. How did you pull that?
I watched the movie. What
were the other birds' names? Like
exactly. That you just said it. What were the other birds' names?
But that's what I'm saying. Like she was trying to give the bird a number, but I'm sure the other birds had names though. Like the long-billed, what's his name?
Long neck.
Long neck.
Think about it, right? Like
Bright Bill.
If you when you go to jail, they just give you a number.
Right.
Like she was really trying to give this bird the most plain name you could possibly have. Gosling 0001. Which would have just been a completely basic. He wouldn't have felt unique at all. But for Fink to be like, well, no, he needs an actual name. You can't just treat him like he's nothing, like he's a nobody. He needs an actual name. So when he gets an actual name, that's part of the whole story of him being different, of him actually seeing that he's different, that he's special, he's unique.
Yeah, I didn't look at it that deep.
Because even kind of Roz dropping her digits and her full name and adopting a different identity on this planet.
I get it for Roz. I don't get it for Bright Bill because, like I said, I'm sure the other birds have regular names. How does that make him different?
How do we know the other birds have regular names? The only one that ever had a regular name was Long Neck.
Well, there was Peck and somebody else.
Oh, I don't remember the other birds. You saying
right. It's not like he's the only one that had a name, so I don't think that made him unique.
I do. So, calling somebody 0001, but then giving them an actual name, I think does make him feel like he's special, that he's not just a normal nobody, whatever. But if I'm reading too deep in it, that's fine. I'll take that.
Look, I don't
know any other bird having a name.
I don't want to ruin it.
No, you won't. You can't. You can't ruin it for me.
Yeah.
But this was another nice little small sort of moment when Bright Bill went up and just snuggled up next to her. And then, man, Mike, you remember when Fink kind of walked up? Man, bro. Yep. I was like, oh, look at that. I was like,
oh, man. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how this didn't Fink was flat out was like, I'm alone. I don't have any friends. No one really likes me. So for him to go up and snuggle up under her, that scene was so good.
And that was before we even knew that.
Was it? I thought he had said that.
I think, I don't think he didn't say that until later, bro.
So when he said it later is when it hit me. I was like, oh, damn, that's sweet as hell. Like that's when it hit me. It didn't really hit me in that moment. It hit me when he said it out loud.
I thought earlier he had said that all he does is just run around eating things.
He did say that,
He did, but
so he made it seem like he was by himself. He didn't have any other friends.
Okay, so you immediately took that. I didn't. I don't know if Ken did. I didn't immediately connect that until he actually said it out loud.
Well, wait. Well,
I took it as
old. So y'all should have already known it by then.
Yeah, well, I took it as he was an asshole and nobody really liked him.
Exactly.
Yeah, I did take that, but how bad it really bothered him.
Oh, sure.
I didn't really get until he said it later.
Sure.
But just seeing him really starting to bond and form almost this family with this robot who is mechanical in parts and not even blood and stuff like that. It was like, oh, look at Fink trying to warm up. Like he wants to be accepted, because I think even Patler may have made a comment about him, because they have been beefing the whole movie too, up to this point. And then I kind of started to, because I forgot, it was something that said, but I started to draw a connection between kind of Roz and Bright Bill both being defective. themselves and sharing those similarities as well. And it really starts to become more evident as the movie goes on. But yeah, this was right around that time. But Rod, kind of a little bit to what Mike was saying about the numbering part. What you see is he takes his first swim, which is the second task. Mm-hmm. And he's kicked in there and he's struggling, and Fink is just like, he'll figure it out. He was like, just let him figure it out, or he'll drown you something. He was like, oh, that's how my mom taught me, which sounded very uncaring. But do you remember how he was interacting with the other goose? And he was like, oh my God, there are other ones like me. And he ran over there. Oh shit, my Mac's running out of power. And he ran over there to thinking that they were going to accept him. But do you remember how he was talking to them? Those like noises he was making? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he was sounding very robotic.
Right.
So imagine if he didn't even have a regular name on top of that.
If he was named Gosling 0001 and was making those robot sounds, think about it that way.
No, I feel you, but I think they would have looked at him like that regardless because he was a runt. Because he didn't even look like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. But yeah, man. So, but yeah, he just that was so sad. That was so sad seeing them do him like that, man. But he was acting weird. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, he was acting a little weird. And they were teasing him, talking about he was raised by. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he was raised by a monster. He was talking like a robot. Even the thing that grabbed him and snatched him under. What did they say? They said they eat the slow, weak ones.
Yeah, they do.
Rockmouth. And Roz got stuck, which is another demonstration of how the world was. But the other ones reveal that Brightbill that Roz killed his mom.
Yeah.
Which was sad. I
did like the suspense of him drowning, though.
You did?
And she had this. It was suspenseful, is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Like when she had to shoot, I think her arm or her hand, to get him or whatever. Like that was like, because I didn't know how he was gonna. She was stuck, so I was like, how is he gonna get out of this situation? But I forgot that her hand could actually come off. So yeah, I was happy that he was saved, because I'm like, are they about to drown this duck? Like, 'cause I didn't know how he was gonna survive. I really didn't know how he was gonna survive.
And I love that Paddler was like, look, if you're gonna expire, go expire over there. He wasn't even about to try to save his ass. He was like, just go die somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah. Was it wrong for Roz to withhold their information about his mom from Brightbill?
No. She thought she was doing the right thing. And again, I don't have kids, but this just seemed like a really strong commentary on people trying to do what they think is the right thing for their children. And then the children end up getting mad later. Was like, well, the parent was just trying to make sure that you were successful and happy. She didn't know that would ever come up later. She didn't know the repercussions of that. But it was also interesting that we find out, like I said earlier, that if she hadn't done that, he would have died anyway.
What about you, Rod?
Your question was what? Was it wrong?
Yeah, for her not to disclose that information, because that's what Brightbill said. He was like, that's not for you to decide. And also on top of that, like, was he wrong for even going off on her like that? Because she took care of him up to this point.
Yeah, but I mean, Mike said it wasn't wrong, right?
Yeah.
I do think he deserved to know what happened to his family, like to withhold that situation. But we got to remember, she is a robot too.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't actually, I don't think at this point has real like feelings or something like that. So it got kind of confusing. Like, okay, like, yo, like sometimes you forget that she's a robot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. She was definitely being protective. I mean, I understood her decision and why she did it because, she was still somewhat task oriented, but this definitely seemed like it bothered her. And, Bright Bill cusses her out and she runs off. And we get a little bit more information about Roz. And we see her going to where she crash landed and put together another one of the robots. And they were talking about her programming, which is Alpha-113 or 113, and how is powerful. And we learn also that she is overriding her programming. And she mentioned she had to do that in order to complete the task and has been doing it for months. Mike, do you remember what the robot immediately said to her after she found that out?
Ooh, I don't.
She said she labeled her defective. And told her to return home and gave her a transmitter.
Yeah, gave her her own transmitter.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And again, so I was grabbing water, but I heard y'all talking about how you were forgetting that she was a robot. And I think, again, that was one of the points that they were trying to push home is like the power of her being like, well, I know this is what my task is supposed to be, but I'm in this world. I'm influenced by these people around me. I've found my tribe and I'm overriding what my programming is to do what I think is right. So her finding the other robots and the other robot being like, well, you're defective. And her being like, well, this doesn't feel like I'm defective. It feels like I'm doing the right thing. I don't know how motherfuckers can look at this and not be like, God damn, this is fucking, bro, this is such good writing. Like she found this thing that needed her help. And it goes completely against what her programming is supposed to be, but she still does it.
But I thought her programming is to help.
It's to help, but by this point, she's saying she's overriding her programming to help this thing, right? This Gosling. Is that how you pronounce it? Gosling?
Yeah.
She's been saying she's been overriding her programming this whole time. Because I think at some point her programming is realizing like this is not what you're supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. Not what your job is. But she's already attached to Bright Bill and she's attached to Think. So she's overriding.
Yeah. Because we saw her get acclimated to the environment when she shut down for I don't know how long that was.
It was a while.
It was a while. So I thought when she rebooted, she just adapted to the environment that she was in.
But that was still the complete task, though, and that was to learn the language because she didn't know how to communicate with them.
Well, I know it was to learn the language, but it also was to understand the way this environment worked. I thought because why was she shut down for that long?
Well, she has to shut down. Remember, she has to repower or whatever,
right?
Because she does it again later. So I don't think she just shut down for the hell of it. I think she shut down because she had to.
No, not for the.
Yeah, I
thought she shut down to when she realized, like, okay, this isn't working. Like, I don't understand this world. Let me try to understand this world. Which again is like Johnny Five. Like, he had to do all these different things to understand. Like input, more input. You remember when he was just like he was trying to understand everything. Then he learned different languages and all that other stuff.
Yeah, but why would her shutting down be how she learned something? I think she shut down
reboot
that power.
No. I thought
this time she was shutting down just to learn the language of the animals. That's why she was down for so long. She had to decipher it, and I forgot what they called it. And then she came back so she could communicate with them in order to perform tasks because she still was looking for something to do.
You're right, Ken. Thank you for that. Yeah, you're right. She did power down to learn all the languages of all the animals in that forest. That's why it took so long. So it wasn't to reboot to adapt to what she started doing. So yeah, she did at some point kind of started overwriting as time go on. So both of you guys are right.
Yeah, in this particular scene, it's a very revealing scene because she mentions that there was a mention that the sequential management that she was using was useless, and that she wasn't using programming and logic. She said she was using her heart. She kind of pointed to this thing. What I was thinking about, Rod, especially for you and I, is that when you have kids, they don't follow normal programming and logic in the regular sense, as we know it, right? It's all like feel and everything. So when he was talking about that, I was like, man, this is what it's like to be a parent, because you're always adapting and adjusting, and you do things you don't even think you would normally do, right? And for your kids that defy sometimes who you are to your core, your programming and logic. Remember what Fink said, I'm just a fox doing fox things. So all this time up to before you had a kid, you were Rod doing Rod things, and I'm Ken doing Ken things. Mike is Mike doing Mike things. That kid comes along and you start reprogramming yourself, rewriting your code. Man, this shit was crazy.
We do that now. We do that.
I know.
Now. I rewrite my code with y'all, like with people, like So it's
Yeah,
I get it.
But
look, like in the moment, it didn't feel as deep, which is why I'm glad that we do these things, right? That we do these podcasts and we do these, and it kind of like brings a different perspective. But in the moment, I just wasn't feeling that. But yeah, when you point that stuff out, it's like, oh yeah, wow, I guess so.
Bruh, this next part, when she comes out, because she's about, I think, she is ordered to return home. Bright Bill done cussed her out, so she's sad about that. And she comes out and she sees the goose flying, and she was like, "Oh shit, I'm out of time." Mike, then she go to try to help. She gets Fink, and she tries to help Bright Bill fly. It's her last task, and she was like, Bright Bill, I know you are fucking with me. I understand. I get it. We're going to do this, and then I'm out.
Yep. And I'm out.
Man, this whole scene of her when the hands broke and building the launch pad. Oh my God. Bro. And man, Rod, towards the end when everybody's watching. Oh man.
Beautiful.
This shit was so great, man.
No, it was good. No, this was good. This was impactful. If anything this was impactful. Go ahead, Mike.
Man.
Sorry. No, I was just saying, I think we skipped a part. We skipped the part where she has to go find somebody to help him learn to fly.
Yeah, I'm kind of talking about it all at one, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, this whole scene, Lone Neck. No, not Lone Thunderbolt. That's Ving Rhames.
That's Ving Rhames.
Yeah.
That part was incredible because he was like, nah, he needs to learn how to fly. So from morning until night, he needs to stay off the ground. So that whole scene where they're putting like rocks on his wings, because he was a runt. So he had to learn how to strengthen his wings because he had to learn how to work with what he had. And then we see him actually picking the rocks up and he's flying with the rocks. Man, this shit, but it was this scene that you were talking about, Ken, where she finally teaches him how to fly and he's about to leave. Fink had the line of the entire movie. When he said, "Fly like you, don't fly like them." I was like, what the? Who wrote this shit? That's a car line. I was like, oh my God, that's beautiful. Beautiful. I was like, am I really getting fucking over this fucking dumbass cartoon? Man, that line was so beautiful because it seals the whole movie. Because that's how he has to survive.
Mm-hmm.
He can't do it like everybody else because he's technically handicapped. He has to figure out how to do this on his own. Fly like you, don't fly like them. That shit, man. That's not like something my mom would have told me.
Which is crazy because
my mom would have told me that too.
Yeah,
because as the movie goes on, it parallels with Roz so well.
Yes,
because she has to do the same thing.
Yep.
Man, and talking about also being defective, like patently, like you start to see this world that's predator and prey started to come together. She has a messed up leg. Paddling puts her a leg together, and gives her a leg so she can help. Right, Bill, BB. She gets Thunderbolt, and Thunderbolt says because his wings are shorter, you have certain advantages. Your advantage is turning and diving. And he picks up tricks, which those tricks come back later when they're threatened by the robots, because that's how they got out, man, bro. And then that's when Lone Neck comes around, Mike. The part you're talking about, the Rods, Lone Neck comes through, and he started hollering at Rods. He was like, yo, like, you saved this guy's life. He said, but the only way he's going to make it is endurance, because he got to stay up in the air for and then they keep, all of them come together to keep him in the air. Man, and bro, this shit was crazy.
It's so deep, bro, because like the whole movie is pushing this idea of if you're just doing status quo shit, you're not going to get anywhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if you break out the norm and you do something a little bit different, even if people are making fun of you, because that's the lesson that you learn from Paddler. Everybody thought Paddler was crazy. Everybody clown Paddler. Paddler was like, fuck y'all, I don't care what you saying. I'm gonna be over here chewing this tree. And then what happens? Paddler was right. People look at Bright Bill and they're like, you're a fucking weirdo. You can't fly. You can't do this. And then Thunderbolt comes around. He's like, look, nah, you might be able not to fly like them, but let me show you that you can do shit that they can't do. And I think they even said something like that. I forget what the exact line was, but it was something like, oh, no. He was saying something like, you guys can do things just like me. You just don't know it. That was the lesson of the movie. Like, man, god damn, this shit was so good. Man.
Yeah, it was an accident that killed her family, saved him. If it wasn't for Ross, he would have been killed on the planet. Yeah. And we saw that. We kept seeing it over and over again. Like, just this, man, bruh. And then like at this point, she kind of corrected herself. Rod, do you remember when she was about to call Bright Bill her son? Man,
that hit.
Yo, man, but it was one last flight before he left the nest, and Roddy took off. Man, you didn't get touched up when you saw that feather float down, bro.
Oh, come on, Rod. Come on, Rod. Rod, when the feather flew down and she caught it with her. Oh, come on, because she was trying to go tell him that she loved him. And it was
yeah.
Oh, come on, Rod.
No, I feel you.
And then she was still there when she was still on the damn cliff when winter came. She didn't even move. She was depressed.
Oh, I feel so bad for her, man.
Oh man,
like
this shit is crazy.
Like she lost
Yeah. Because she realizes then that it was never about a task. The task was complete, but she didn't feel complete.
Right. Because didn't she say she never said it was complete? I thought she said it.
Yeah.
Am I confused?
Yep. She said
it went to like had a little green check mark by it, but she still didn't feel like it was done.
Fulfilled.
She didn't feel fulfilled. Right.
Yeah.
Because she was so much like him. Like, she was weird and defective and different, but we didn't even touch on the fact that she was able to connect the entire forest.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers didn't hang out. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the next scene. Sorry, I jumped ahead. This is the next scene. Never mind.
Well, yeah, this was man. I think this is another moment with Fink, bro.
Jesus Christ,
man. This damn Fink, bro. This guy.
Get Fink out of here, bro. What the fuck, man?
Man, but yeah, we Lone Net, Bright Bill, they flying off, and winter is rough. They're in the storm, so they have to land and find some place to stay until it passes over. Mm-hmm. And Bright Bill just sees another robot that looks like Roz, just walked up to it. And Long Neck basically told him, it was like, you're not afraid because you grew up with that. You're relying on like programming. He said, well, we said we see attack robots. And then Long Neck put him in charge. He was like, you the only one that can get us out of here.
Yep.
Man, when Long Neck got killed, bro.
I was done. I was done, y'all. Oh my God, I was done. I said, what the fuck are y'all trying to do to me right now?
Man, such a powerful impact in such a small amount of time.
Yeah, I can't believe they killed them.
Me either.
Yeah, I can't believe they killed him. Yeah, I was like, dang.
The only that believed in him, man.
Yes.
Right. You have to take the lead because you can get them out of here. We see this and we don't know what to do. You know what to do. And when he flew back down, he said, I'll catch up. I'll buy you some time. I was like, nah.
Yep.
Nah, don't do this.
Psych.
Don't fucking do this. And when they put that little red dot on him, I was like, fuck this movie, dude.
And then Mike, he also quoted that his affirmation from Thunderbolt: "Fly like you, not like them, just to get out."
God,
he brought it back.
He brought it back. Fly like you, don't fly like them. That's the only way you're gonna survive.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He saved them all.
Yep.
The runt. And then Roz has a vision which scared Fink. And she was like, and Fink was like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" She turned off her transmitter to wait on BB to come back. And he was like, "Yeah, it's pretty rough out there." And she wanted to. This is the part where she wanted to go save everybody.
God.
And Fink wouldn't answer the question, which was crazy. He was like, "We can have the whole island to ourselves." Yeah. But he reluctantly went out to help, and this was such a crazy scene and power for them going around, finding them. Fink turning out to be a hero. Right, when he found the one that was dead, though.
That killed me.
Right.
And she said, "Don't give up, though." Oh, yes. My God. Ron. Oh. Come on.
I don't know. I don't know. It's what they hit me to save. I don't know. Y'all making me feel like something's wrong with me. I don't.
I'm wondering. Because Jesus, I'm about to cry now. Talking about this shit. I don't know.
I gotta go back and watch it because movies like this normally hit me, but I don't know why this one didn't.
That one
they
broke
normally
me
do.
The fuck down, bro. When they lifted up the little thing in the snow, and then he looked sad, and she said, "Don't give up." Oh, I was like, they found a dead one. God damn! Because I was like, when she was going through the snow and they were finding all the little animals, I was like, man, this shit really happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is why I told y'all I don't watch movies with animals because it does this shit to me. I don't like this shit. But like when they showed the bear, when she found all the little possums all curled up in the corner. But
and she was like, "We're gonna be okay."
Yeah, she said, "Oh, we're gonna be okay." Oh my God. Because it felt so human. Like that's what your poor mother tells you when it's cold as fuck. You ain't got no heat. You ain't got no food. We're going to be okay.
Right.
It was killing me. That whole sequence of them finding the animals and bringing them back to the sanctuary. I was sitting here like, bruh, what the fuck? This is bullshit. And you connect that she changed the entire ecosystem.
Yeah.
Because he was defective and weird. And it's simultaneously with Bright Bill doing the exact same thing because he's defective and weird. He was able to save all the goose's lives, or is it geese, whatever it is.
Yeah, geese.
Bruh.
and she couldn't do it without Fink because he was the one that had the nose to smell where they all were. And I think that I didn't write it down, but I think it was around this moment or before it when he said he doesn't have any friends.
Yes.
And nobody likes him. Oh.
But now he got purpose and he saved the lives of the whole forest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
And that's what he said because when it came back and everybody was trying to kill each other, she was like, "What's going on?" And he was like, "You put a bunch of predators in the same room with their food supply." Mm-hmm. He said, "What do you think is going to happen?" And then one of the little apostles running around, "We're all gonna die."
Yeah.
And then Fink gets.
She said, "Help him." She said, "Help him." And he passed out.
Yeah, because she was running low energy, and Fink had to be the one, man. Yeah. And Fink sat there. He was. Yeah. Because he yelled quiet, which this was funny. He said quiet, and nobody listened to him. And then the one little thing come up was like, shh.
Yeah.
But man, he was like, yo, to survive, we have to become more than what we were programmed to be.
The entire motive of the movie, y'all.
Yeah.
God. Man.
And the bear said, I won't harm anyone. Everybody hibernated. And the little one said, we won't even pretend to die.
And they all went and slept on top of him.
Yes.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was so good.
Oh, man. Spring comes.
I like
go ahead, bro.
Fink's. I'm just saying, I like Fink's story arc. You know what I'm saying? I like what they did with him. Like, definitely.
Yeah.
But, dang, there was another moment in this that I thought was cool, but I can't think of what you was gonna say, King.
No, I was just moving forward, like, because we're going to like the third and final act.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this is where it all starts to really come together. Oh man! But anyway, yeah, spring comes back around. Grass growing up on her. The goose come back. Roz is so happy. Mm-hmm. Bright Bill is a hero. He's a changed man. Roz walks up to him, sees all of that, and she just walks away.
Yep.
Fink is so happy. Plays with him, grabs him by the neck. Everybody got scared.
Yeah, because he had him like he was gonna eat. The little detail I liked in this moment is how they made her look like a human because the way the grass was on her, it made it almost look like hair. Like like the grass on her kind of looked like clothes in a sense, the way it kind of grew on her. So I like that little note that they put there to make her seem like a motherly, like Mother Nature almost.
Yeah. And Fink and Roz, but no, not Fink, but Bright Bill was like, oh, there's something I need to tell her. Mm-hmm. And he turns around and she's not there. And he's like, dang, he's still not going to get the moment. Because, Roz was like, he's back with his people. Like, my job is like really done.
Yep.
And then Vontro comes along, the virtual observation, neutralizing retrieval authority. Mm-hmm. And he was like, with sounding cheerful, which is crazy. And she says that I sound like this to put my targets at ease to facilitate collections.
That's crazy.
Man. But said that, don't get it twisted. I am unfeeling, inflexible, and morally neutral, despite my cheery demeanor. Man.
That's crazy.
All I think about was like, it very terrifying. Think about the number of people in the world that are like that, though.
Hell yeah.
Man.
But think about think about where she came from. She was speaking on behalf of corporations.
Right.
Like, again, this was not a kid's movie. Like, when she comes over and she flat out like lays out that the corporation just sent her to collect the pieces because they need what's in Roz's brain,
the data, yep,
so they can better figure out how to, like, because I don't think we touched on the fact that this is supposed to be like a post-apocalyptic world, which I didn't get until, did y'all notice when they were flying over the San Francisco bridge?
No, I didn't.
Oh, so that really seals everything. So if you look, when they fly over the bridge is underwater.
Wow.
So what that tells you is humans are fucked at this point. That's why they're sending these robots out, because they want to figure out places that they can colonize. So that's the only reason that they want Roz back. And that's why she has that transmitter. So if the robots get lost, they can always come back home just so they can get the data from them. So when that little Evo robot says that shit of like, you know, I have this friendly demeanor just to put my prey at ease, that is every corporation that we deal with today. They're all putting out these happy, friendly ads so we can feel at ease giving them our money, even though they do not care if we live or die.
Right. And humans are predators because we be messing up with the animals. We destroy everything. Yeah.
And as always, when the humans get fucked, the nature strives and you know, nature's fine. But then they figure out, oh, nature's fine over there. Well, let's go fuck that up too. Because the only time we see the humans is that one time when they're in that whatever, that
lab. Like a lab.
Yep.
Well, there was kids playing outside, but if you notice, there's like a dome over it.
Okay.
So it must be to protect them from whatever wiped the world out.
Yeah. And so then Fink shows up and says, yo, Bright Bill is looking for her. And she was like, oh, I'll be back. And she was like, yeah, I can tell that you're lying. And then there's this big battle. She was asking questions and she was like, Rosum 7134. And she hit her with my name missing Toby. You know? Yeah. And like, my name is Roz. And this whole battle, just all these people that were eating each other and killing each other and didn't like each other came together. And the bear was like, I'm a predator and I know predators. Man, these are predators. And they did the hot man. And she, man. Then she said, they coming to take her home. And she said, tell them I'm already home. Yep. And she says, and then the title came back. The title of the movie came back. I'm a wild robot. And then they howled, Rod.
Come on, bro. Rod.
She was crazy.
Rod. Modest media right. What is going on, bro? This whole scene, I was like, yo, this is so good. They all came together.
In their own style.
Oh my God.
And everything, because I didn't mention this earlier, but she has this, she called it animal mimicry thing, which we saw, but she actually said what it was. Everything that she's been done, her whole assimilation came into play that whole battle. You saw her on the ground, the skunk thing that she did, playing dead. She's like, ooh. This shit was crazy, bro. But anyway, man.
and then the beaver got his redemption too. So because
the fire
that ended up saving them.
Yep. He told Fink, he was like, say I'm cool and don't lie.
That was funny as hell, man. That was so funny. Fink didn't want to say it either. Oh man, that's so good, man.
Yeah,
they put. You just walked my tree.
Yep. But he said we suddenly have a newfound interest in your project or something. They said we were suddenly taking an interest in your project. But yeah, Roz got captured. She's deprogrammed. Man.
Oh my God, man! This next scene, Jesus Christ.
And yeah. She's just in there, man. And
she asked, can I keep one memory?
Yeah, and he wouldn't let her.
Keep one memory.
And Vantra started self-destructing the robots, would set the fire you were talking about, Rod. And here comes BB to the rescue, Bright Bill with all the Thunderbolt and crew. And they had their moment. Man, she's Man, this was crazy. All because they wanted to capture the data. And Universal Dynamics was like, we want the data. And now when Bright Bill came, bro, and she was like, oh, this will happen later. But yeah, no. So she gets in there, she's sitting there lifeless. And Bright Bill gets up there and gets right next to her. And he says the words. Man. She come back on, Rod.
You have no heart, Rod.
She's reborn. The power of love, Rod.
No,
it's just the power of love.
But nah, I did like that. I mean, it had moments where I felt something. I just didn't feel it like y'all overall. And like, just for instance, right? Like just and the reason why I know I didn't, because in that moment when Wild Robot, the title sequence pulled up and all the animals are
howling.
I'm like, well, I'm like, how are they going to survive? Like, like how are they going to survive? Like, what's the new order circle of life now? Like, how do you?
No, I got you. Like, what are they going to eat? Because they can't.
That's what I was thinking when I saw it. I wasn't like, oh man, this is awesome, man. Go animals. Like I wasn't like that. I was like, well, I was just like,
I did ask myself that question. The first time I watched it, I asked myself that question. I think the second, like now we think about like Universal Dynamics. The thing about this movie is rewriting of code, modifying programming. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna have to do that. Yeah.
Right. So part 2 would be dope if they could rewrite the code. Like that would be dope to see. But in the moment, I'm like, okay, how does this work? Because my logic starts kicking in. Like, and I'm just like that. How does this work? I don't understand how this works.
I immediately thought about the rewriting code and deciding to be different because that's what humans do. Like some of us, at least, we write our decision to stop eating things that don't need to be eaten, and all of those animals can do the exact same. I mean, in terms of the movie, in real life, but most of the animals we saw in this movie anyway are vegetarian. You know, the bear is different. The fox is different, but the rest of those animals can typically just live off the earth. So I don't know if that's really the point they were trying to make at all, but that's what I thought. Like they could just eat fruit and vegetables and shit.
Yeah.
Some skinny ass animals.
I know, Bill. Ass bear.
So Roz comes back and they escape and they're captured by Vulture, but she used the arm to escape. And when she was like, he said, I can't fly.
Oh, he heard his wing crack in the window. Yeah,
man. And she was like, don't worry, I got you.
Oh,
and she jumped out and she ripped out the thing. She was like, what are you doing? And she said, everything I got, everything I need is right here. And she put him in cement. It turned into a ball and field. Man,
that was dope. Yeah, that was
Mike. This is around the time when I was like, it's two moments that got me. When she landed and she rolled up, they had already put out the fire and they came together. He was like, put your back into it or something, Patler said. He just watching everybody do all the work.
He did most of it?
Yeah, he did. And the ball rolls down and she comes out and takes Bright Bill out. And she says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate my performance?
Yeah. And they all start cheering.
Man, I was like, yo.
So good, man.
What an incredible line.
So good.
But, Mike, I did not expect Ross to leave, bro.
I figured the way this movie was going, there was going to be a sad-ass ending. It was just, I don't know. The way that they were writing everything, it didn't seem like we were going to get a happily ever after. But when one of them said like they're gonna keep coming back, or I think the evil robot,
the robot, yep,
we're gonna keep.
Yep.
And he realized, she's like, yeah, they're gonna keep coming back unless I go back with them. So her leaving, it killed me again. I was like, this was the moment when Fink came out and he was like, what am I gonna do?
Oh my
I don't have anybody. I don't have any friends. And then he's like, who am I gonna talk to? What if I have something to say? Who am I gonna say it to? And when the bear leaned over and was like, bruh.
I'm telling you, bro.
I was just like, yo.
I love it, though. I love this for y'all.
Oh.
I love this for y'all. Because I feel like I'm always that guy. So I love for y'all.
They became friends. He has friends, Ron.
He has friends. They're all friends
No,
now.
it was cool.
All
It was
because of
good.
Roz.
Yeah, it was cool.
Why couldn't you
good.
take out the Z in Roz and add the D and understand why this movie was so powerful?
It is. It absolutely is. And I love that for y'all. I love that for y'all.
Man, and he made a joke. He said, you know what, when they were leaving, he said, you know, I'll be chasing you again tomorrow. And he was like, I'm just playing.
I'm just playing. Yeah.
Oh, that shit was so funny to me.
Man. And then you just saw everything that has went on during this undisclosed period of time on this planet. You have Bright Bill following the ship, which was crazy. But you see them coming together for the winter. They're watching the video that Roz watched. Fink is reading them a story. And then we close with Rosum 7143 looking up at the migration coming by. And here comes Bright Bill, who creeps up not knowing who he would run into because he remembered the last time. And then she
recognized him.
She said, but you can call me Roz, and they embraced Mike. At that point, it was over.
I was like, this movie's amazing.
It was over.
This movie's amazing. Jesus Christ, this movie's amazing.
I was done at that point. I was like, oh my, I was like, what is this movie doing to me and why is this happening? What has happened to me?
I don't know.
But and I can't explain it, but it's not like it all just happened at one moment. It was like so many other moments that it just built on top of, man. Jesus Christ.
I cannot wait for the next one because I finished it right before we did this, so I haven't even had a whole lot of time to think deep on it yet. But I immediately went online and I was like, "Is this a part one?" Apparently, it's based on books, and there's 3 books. So I was like, "I'm here for all of it."
Me too.
I cannot wait for the other books. Because it was a weird ending. I thought it was a great ending. But I was like, this is a bit of a weird ending because he's basically on enemy territory. The last time y'all motherfucker was here, they shot at your ass.
Right.
So the next book is called something like The Wild Robot Escapes or something. So I'm assuming the next one is going to be her having to get out of that place. So, I'm all the way here for all of it. I never thought, I've never watched any of these kind of movies. I've never watched Toy Story. I texted
Nemo. You still ain't seen Finding Nemo?
That. I don't watch that kind of shit because I don't like that stuff. But like, I texted Adam because he's always like, yo, you need to watch Toy Story. Because he's like, I didn't watch any of that shit as a kid. I watched it all as an adult, and it broke me. And I was like, bro, Toy Story? Like,
we keep trying
Buzz
to tell
Lightyear,
you.
Up and away, that shit? Like, what?
We keep trying to tell you.
Yeah. I literally, right when I was done, I texted him, and I was like, bro, have you seen The Wild Robot? And he was like, nah. And I was like, you need to watch this shit because all the shit you've been telling me about Toy Story, I don't think I can watch it now because this movie made me bitch made. I can't. I'm so glad I watched this shit at home. I have not wept during a movie in I don't know how long. This shit took me out.
I haven't been this emotional watching a movie in a very long time. And it's not one. It's not like one final moment. It was multiple.
No, it's a ton of them.
It was, bruh. Oh man, yeah. I was like, geez, I am human. Because this shit was crazy, bro. Man, man, yo. So I was really happy when this won. Because I really wanted to know what I was like, I was just wondering, like, is it just me? Maybe it was just me that day. And then the rewatch, I was like, nah, I was still there. And I was really curious to hear what other people, I really want to know what Nick thinks. And I wish he could have been on it, but yeah, but nah, man, yeah, give it. I definitely want to watch it again. I want to watch it with the family.
I'm not watching it again. Ain't no way. I'm not watching this shit again, bro. I'll wait for part 2.
Oh man, but yeah, nah. Overall, a fantastic, incredible movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I was so glad that I actually went to watch it. I just saw a lot of people talking highly about it. So I'm glad we got a chance to talk about it. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
So, any final thoughts?
For a reason.
No, I was just saying final thoughts.
I knew people wanted us to watch it for a reason, and they had already told me that she enjoyed it and she thought I should watch it. I don't know why everybody think like with stuff like this, they be wanting me to watch it like this is what is it called? This Is Us or something like that.
Because you're like a sensitive man and you're comfortable being a sensitive man. So I expected you to be worse than me with this.
I probably wasn't because man, I've been watching this type of stuff for so long and sensitive about it for so long. Like
that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that makes sense.
So you know, like you said, because you never seen Up neither, huh?
I've seen Up, and it didn't do shit for me.
It's kind of depressing though. You know what I'm saying? Up is kind of more like a depressing type of animation story. Like, you know, it makes you feel, it don't really make you cry. It just makes you like, damn, that's sad. Like, what the hell? Like, you know, but Lion King, you said you don't like the Lion King either, huh?
Mm-mm. Yeah. No, see, stuff like this typically doesn't. Yeah. Stuff like this typically does nothing. Like when people talk about how emotional they get with Lion King, I'm like, bro, it's a bunch of lions fighting hyenas. This shit is stupid. But I don't know.
You didn't watch Bambi.
Yeah, I've seen Bambi. Yeah, I've seen Bambi.
Bambi's like that. Bambi's sad, you know.
It's sad, but I mean, I haven't watched Bambi as an adult. I've watched it as a kid, and it never did anything. But as far as cartoons I've watched as an adult, you know, because I mean, when I was a kid, fucking Watership Down used to break me down, you know. But as an adult, I can't think of any cartoon like this that has done this to me. Like this. Where I was
it's done. It is done well. It is done well.
It's so heavy, man. Like, God, there's so many messages in this movie that are so fucking good.
It is, but I could see, and another movie you didn't watch that came out this year was Inside Out 2 or whatever, and it's deep as well. Like, and see, like those, like Inside Out and Inside Out 2. You seen those, Ken?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen Inside Out 2. I haven't seen the first one. But it was good. I talk highly of that one too. I've seen all those. I don't know what it is about this one. I wish I could explain it. It's just so different. Man, I don't know what they did. I really don't.
Wrote a very human story. Like this whole idea of bypassing your programming and bypassing your upbringing to be a better person, is to do what's right, so much to the point where you affect everyone around you and you make them do right. That's why I thought Rob would fuck with this, because it's the type of shit he's always talking about. And I thought, I'm so positive, man. I make Klan members not want to be Klan members no more, man. They don't even want to be racist no more. They start listening to Kendrick Lamar around me, man, because they just all about love, man. I was like, Rod's gonna love this shit. Nah, Rod, like, man, fuck.
I was really surprised by what he said. What his stance.
Like, welcome to my world, bro. I've been in this motherfucker, bro.
Man, I thought I was Mike. I thought I was in trouble. I was like, shit. Okay, so Rod's not on board. I don't know what Mike gonna say. I might be by myself. So I was buckling up, bro.
I didn't dislike the movie. I thought it was written well. I agree with you guys. I thought it was a really compelling story. I just wasn't as emotional as you guys were.
When you said it was like Short Circuit, I was like, oh man. Oh no!
You didn't like Short Circuit?
No, I love
Short Circuit was so good.
I love Short Circuit, but this was deep.
See, to me, like Short Circuit, it's a nod to it. I'm giving it credit. Like I'm comparing it to something that was like I thought was deep and emotional, and like especially when I was a kid. I haven't watched it since I've been older, but I remember feeling some type of way about that, having this infinity for a robot. Mm-hmm. Like I remember thinking that, like
I've watched Short Circuit as an adult, and it didn't do.
It don't hit the same.
Nah, it's still a great movie. It's a great movie, but it's not like this. But yeah, I thought I was in trouble too. I was like, fuck. Rod started out talking about, yeah, man, it was cool. You over here raising animals and shit. It's cool. I was like, oh man, I'm fucked. I'm gonna sound crazy. So thank God Ken liked it or was emotional about it.
Right. I got you.
Because I thought Jalen was going to stay on, but I think he tapped out. But yeah. Did
he watch it?
You're muted or whatever, Jalen.
Hear me now? How about now?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, I loved it. I like Mike caught me off. Mike was talking about it with Spike and Nick. And I was surprised. I got happy. I was like, I'm glad you loved that shit. Because it would have made me upset that you didn't like it. Movie theater, I was like, man, this shit about to have me tear up. Like, I don't know what the fuck going on watching this movie, man. This shit had me in a chokehold in there, man. I didn't know what to do. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I was like, what? I was in the movie theater. I'm looking around like, bro, I hope nobody see me over here like a little hoe. Like
That's crazy.
But Mike, I think, like Rod said, I think Inside Out and Inside Out 2, you will probably mess with them more than like the other ones people have suggested because it's actually dealing with emotions, and it'll probably have you recollect on your childhood, like how your parents are probably thinking. Mm-hmm. Like it really goes into the mindset of like, dang, I dealt with that, I felt that. Like Inside Out, that's when it's really going. And then the newest one talks about anxiety, like man, and the emotions of dealing with it. Like I'm telling you, that one is gonna get you.
All right, I'll watch him.
Yeah. Inside Out's the truth. Inside Out's the truth, man.
This shit had me so bad. I was trying to work. I was working. Yeah, I usually will watch movies while I'm working. I couldn't work. I couldn't work. This was fucking me up. I could not. I was trying to code a site. I could not do anything. I was like, bro, I gotta turn this off.
Man.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it won. I'm glad whoever recommended it. So yeah, I'm here now. I'm gonna watch Toy Story too. I'm definitely gonna watch all the Toy Stories now by myself though.
I just want your thoughts on one of the movies in particular. So I'll you just let me know when all that's done.
These movies are like Mike. These movies are like how you tell me I'm missing out on foreign films. I feel like you're missing out on good storytelling with some of these animated films. It's like kind of the same thing. It's kind of the same thing.
I feel you. The different thing is I've never doubted that they're good. Mm-hmm. I don't like feeling this type of emotional.
I got you.
Like if I watch Dancer in the Dark, I understand why that movie is making me emotional. When I watch fucking this shit, I'm like, what the fuck is a goddamn cartoon with robots and a goddamn fucking jacked up ass handicapped bird? Why the fuck is this doing this to me? I don't like that shit.
I got you.
But I'm gonna have to just accept it. I'm gonna check out all the Toy Stories and stuff because I've been told for years that they're extremely deep and very good.
It's written so well. It's written so well. Like, golly, it's really good storytelling. Yeah.
But I'm leaving here with the line of the year. Don't fly like them, fly like you. I swear to God. Yeah. If I was a little white girl, I would have that tattooed in cursive on my back. Right there.
Yeah.
That's so
powerful. Powerful.
I'm sure people got to infinity and beyond tatted on them.
I know for a fact they do. Yes.
Right. Buzz Lightyear is probably tatted on him. Like, dog, like it's a reason. It's a reason, bro. Like that, man, it's crazy.
I'm gonna watch him.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, we'll leave it there, man. We appreciate you guys as always, and we'll catch you next time. We're out. Peace. The Frames Per Second podcast.